cursed, you know, whatever. It's not really cursed, but he's just telling him, like, don't get this shit because you're going to attract attention from, like, the wrong crowd, from this organization. And Tintin's, like, being a spoiled brat, like, no, this is my bait. And when they hand over my boat that I just bought, no, this is my boat. Like a whiny little boy. But anyways, then the villain, Rackham comes in, and he's all like, should I paint shit? And then Tintin's like, no, piss off. And basically the movie revolves around the villains and Tintin trying to figure out what's so important about the unicorn, because they have these coordinates to Captain Hancock's ancestors' treasure, and there are 3 models of the unicorn which contain these clues. But and yeah, basically the bad guys in Tintin want it so they can find the treasure. That's basically it, a race against time. But yeah. And surprisingly, you would think Steven Spielberg would write these scenes a lot better, or this type of story way better, with like more life to it. But it's not. It's just the scenes play out because they had to. But anyways, moving on. Characters. The characters, all I have to say is they play their role. They play their roles, and that's just it. They play their roles. They don't add like a little bit of flair to it. I mean, the kid who plays TinTin, he's really good. All the actors' performance are really spot on. They're really terrific and all that crap. But it's just they have such generic dialogue. It's like Tintin gets the, you know, average Joe dialogue. It's like all around guy dialogue. He doesn't really get like each character, basically they don't stand out in their own way. They just got their dialogue, their generic dialogue. Like Tintin, he gets the heroic average Joe dialogue, you know, not the Superman mercenary type dialogue. He just gets the average Joe little boy heroic Boy Scout dialogue. Captain Hancock gets the drunken comic relief dialogue. Rackham gets the evil, despicable British villain dialogue, you know. And that's it. The characters just play what they're supposed to play. There's no, the characters are two-dimensional at best. That's it. The characters are just two-dimensional. Yeah, moving on. What else? Yeah, that's it. Characters just play up because they're supposed to be played out like that. And then Snow is just a dog. But moving on. After characters, music score was okay. Not much to say about this movie, sadly. And moving on with negative stuff, let's jump into some positive stuff. The animation looks really well done. You see the characters, like, especially for a CGI movie, you know, it looks freaking gorgeous. But, you know, you see their cheekbones reacting. You see the muscles in their cheeks, the muscles in their faces. You see the muscles in their arm lifting crap and stuff. And it looks really beautiful. Like, sometimes you, like, your eyes will wander off about, not on the characters, but like on the scene around them, you know? Because it's so freaking gorgeous. But other than that, the animation is really nice. The books are really, really entwined with each other. And it makes for like, it had potential, which is a sad thing, because they entwined the, two, Tintin books so perfectly, but it just didn't have a flair to it, you know? Which is kind of sad. But anyways, overall, I have to give this movie a 6 out of 10. Which basically, the movie gets a what's it called. I'll put it in the notion right over there. But basically, it gets a 6 out of 10. While the story is very intertwined and the scenery and the characters look beautiful, the animation is gorgeous, nothing really sticks with you like with this movie at all, honestly. It's like the scenes just play out because they have to play out. the characters you don't get developed at all, and it's like the characters are bipolar. It's like, okay, here's a good example. TinTin, basically. You know, after his boat gets sold, he's like all eccentric, he's all pissed. He's hell bent on getting his boat back. He wants to find his treasure before these bad guys. He ain't stopping at nothing. Even though, even though he was stranded out at sea with a drunken man and they got like a freaking fast ship and a plane, he didn't give up at all. This boy jacked their plane. He flew over them just to piss him off, and he got there first. And he was not going to stop because, you know, just because he didn't have all the answers to where Captain Hancock's ancestors' treasure was, he was not going to give up. He was hell-bent on getting there first before the bad guys. And then all of a sudden, midway in the movie, he was like, after like the bad guys get the last clue to where Hancock's treasure is, he's like, fuck it, I give up. There's nothing we can do. I'm being a realist. I'm like, what? Pause. Kid, you risked your neck and life to get a boat, a toy boat, against a freaking, what's it called? But from bandits, gangsters, murderers, basically. You were risking life to get a boat from a bunch of murderers. And you just want to give up? Because they got the last piece? You were stranded out at sea. You hijacked their friggin' boat. Plane. And you just decide to give up when they finally like beat you to the treasure. You're willing to risk your neck like getting back a toy boat, but when it comes to getting the actual treasure, you give up? What is wrong with you? And I'm there too, it's like, you risk your life for a toy boat, a model ship no less, which you can barely tinker with. But when you like hear there's gold involved, you give up all of a sudden. And that doesn't sound like his character at all. I mean, dang, boy, I'm sorry, I just can't get over it. Like, you risk your life over something so trivial, then when the big picture comes into play, when like they finally got the last piece, you finally just give up. And then Hancock give him this little cliche pep talk like, don't let anybody tell you that you're a failure, TinTin. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Then he got his confidence back. Well, not really. He just got an idea because he remembered he was tinkering on the ship's GPS. But just watch the movie. You'll get what I'm saying. But TinTin was just bipolar. Weird ass kid though. TinTin bipolar, characters plain, the dialogue was plain. Yeah, played too much by the book. It gets a 6 out of 10. Hate to say it, guys. I had my expectations really kind of set for this movie, and it seems the way how it ended, there might be a sequel to it. But dang man, I'm just real disappointed. It's like they could have done a lot more with this. And I hope, honestly, that Nick doesn't do what they did with Kung Fu Panda and turn that into an animated series. Because honestly, I think it should have stayed. Honestly, in my opinion, I think Kung Fu Panda should have just stayed as a movie, and it should have just been one. Because Kung Fu Panda 2, in my opinion, I didn't go see it, but I think it wasn't needed. I mean, Kung Fu Panda 1, it just pretty much had a nice meaning, freaking meaning to it. Moral to it, But, yeah, it just doesn't deserve a sequel. It didn't deserve a sequel, in my opinion. Sorry for getting off track of Kung Fu Panda, but I hope they don't do what they did with Kung Fu Panda and make TinTin into like a animated TV series. Because the way how the movie was, I don't think this could work out. And then it's like they would have to make the characters say stuff like murder and death and killing and show guns and all that crap. Well, unless they show it on Nicktoons, which they've done a really good job with Dragon Ball Z Kai. We'll get into that later. But anyways, other than that though, yeah, 6 out of 10.